Alrighty, friends, welcome back. I'm your host, Scott Heaton, and today we are back with Taylor Johnson, I was going to say realtor. No, agent. He's an agent, but he's an insurance agent extraordinaire with State Farm Insurance out in Eagle Mountain, Utah. And today we are going to cover something that I think is really, really important for myself, right? And that's understanding the difference between comprehensive and collision coverage when it comes to your autos. Autos?
Yes.
Yeah. See, this is why we have him, because he knows so much more. So why this topic?
Scott, this is a common thing when I talk to people, whether it's over the phone or in person. A very common thing is, oh, I have full coverage, or what is full coverage? And what does that mean? Well, when we're talking insurance, auto insurance, if somebody says I've got full coverage or I need full coverage, the bank says so because I've got a loan on the car. Really what that means is you've got comprehensive and collision coverage, which are two separate coverages, but when we say full coverage, it means you've got both.
Yeah.
And so the difference really is comprehensive coverage is really, it's like an act of nature or act of God happens to your car. So if you're driving down the street, and this, I swear, never happens in Utah, you get hit by a rock.
Oh, no.
So
nope.
Yeah, never happens in Utah. But you hit by a rock, truck kicks it up, shatters your windshield. That's going to be a comprehensive claim because it wasn't necessarily your fault, but it's an act of nature, right? You hit a deer, that's going to be a comprehensive claim. Or vandalism, theft, things like that. That's going to fix your own vehicle in the event something like that damages your car and you need it to be repaired and you want insurance to help you. Now, collision coverage is pretty much just the way it sounds, is if you collide with something in an accident. So if you are driving your car and you hit another vehicle, you hit a pole, a median, something like that, that damages your vehicle, it's your fault, and you want your insurance to help pay and repair those damages to your own car.
Yep.
And so that full coverage is focused on your own car. In regards to auto insurance, that's really one of the only coverages that focuses on your own car. Insurance typically focuses on covering you in the event that you cause damages to others or their other property, but this one will help fix your own vehicle. Now, comprehensive and collision typically has some form of deductible.
Yes.
So, usually. Now, there are scenarios where you don't have a deductible, but most of the time you choose a deductible. And similar to maybe like a health insurance, if you need to use your collision coverage, the insurance company will cut you a check for the damages minus your deductible, and you'd be responsible for that difference. So say your deductible is $500 to fix your car after an accident, it's $2,000. Well, they'll cut a check for $1,500. You would pay the additional $500 to make that whole, and your car will be fixed.
Yeah. Earlier on a different episode, you had talked about having the customer service piece because you're because State Farms are smaller, right? You're not calling into a car center. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been in a couple of accidents before, and the last one I was in, she thought she was let's just look like this. She was very confused as it applied when it came to her insurance coverage and policy. I remember the sheriff's talking to her, and she was really, really confused, and she thought she had one thing when she didn't. And I guess the point I'm making is, there's something like Taylor where it's more, you're talking to the same people every time. You're going to make sure that they take the time to explain this to you instead of just saying, what's the bottom line? Here's the cheapest insurance. They're going to make sure that they educate you on what you might really need, explain everything to you. So in the event that something like that happens, you understand better and it's not such a traumatic experience. Because let's be honest, getting in an accident is kind of traumatic, whether you get hit or whether you cause the accident yourself. So anyway, a plug for my friend Taylor here. So Taylor, if people want to get a hold of you, if they have questions or would like just to know a little bit more about comprehensive and what is it, comprehensive and
collision.
And collision. I was going to say collision. How do they get a hold of you?
I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me on my office line, which is 385-345-4233, or you can go to my website, which is taylordjohnson.com, and there's ways to communicate with me on that website. And I'd love to talk to you, even if it's just to answer some questions. I'd love to help out.
All right, thanks so much. And thanks for watching. We will see you next time on a different episode. Take care.